Victor, thanks so much for being with us.
Thanks for having me. It's a terrific to be back.
Well, we're big fans, of course, of St. Therese of the Little Flower and its Little Flower Strategies. Tell us all about it.
Sure. Little Flower Strategies is it's a small company that has a strong Catholic identity, and we work to provide digital and marketing solutions for nonprofits, independent recording artists, independent filmmakers, everyone who's trying to get their message out in today's world, who also wants to evangelize about the good, the true, and the beautiful.
Now, Victor, I have to say that your wife is a big supporter, and she's been tweeting about this. I know she's watching right now. How's everything at home? Great?
Everything at home is great. It's always great when she can entice the kids to behave by offering the plum of Catholic TV viewing in the morning after their brunch. So everyone's on their best behavior right now, I'm sure. And a little shout out to Isabella and Victor, Julius, Eloisa, and little Philip Andre, who's probably not watching Catholic TV. He's probably napping right now.
Too little.
Yes, that's right.
You mentioned, by the way, Catholic identity. How important is that to the work that you do in getting these important messages out to people?
Sure. Well, I mean, in today's world, I think there's no shortage of companies or nonprofit organizations who want and need marketing help. And so the question always becomes, is the product or the service or the company or the organization providing something that is for or supportive of Catholic teaching, or does it run contrary? And so if it runs contrary, then we choose to usually decline that opportunity, regardless of how lucrative it might be.
I see. Yeah.
Now that our viewers know a little bit about your work, what are some of your recent projects that you've been working on, so people can make sure to look out for those?
We've got some great projects that we've been working on. We've got a free mobile app by Audio Girl Ministries called The Power of Seven. And it's a really interesting project to help build awareness about. It's this mobile app that offers the top 7 responses to the most commonly used pro-abortion arguments. And so it's great for high schoolers or college students, anyone who, you know, they get these arguments that perhaps are out there, but you're not quite sure on how to respond. And you've got all these great resources at your fingertips. So it's available on the Apple Store and Google Play. And we've also got a couple of independent films that we'll be working on over the next few months. One is Apparition Hill, which is going to bring 5 people from different backgrounds on a pilgrimage. And these 5 people are not your traditional believers. And so that will be an interesting mix. It'll be a kind of a docudrama that unfolds. And then lastly, we've got Forbidden God, which is a full-length feature film. It'll be the North American adaptation of the film that won the Mirabile Dictu Award a couple of years ago, which is the Vatican-sponsored film award. So we've got all kinds of things in the works, and there's always more.
You know, we're familiar with your work, you know, working in media as we do here at Catholic TV, but I think some people might not completely understand what goes in, like what the process is. Say we came to you and we have a feature film, and we would like to make sure, because we know that that message is very important for people to hear, particularly as Catholics, as followers of Christ. What process do you go through to take that film, for example, or that application, and bring it to people and introduce it to them?
Sure. Well, I mean, we live in a culture and a world, and especially with recent events, that can be antithetical to a message of faith. And so it's a challenge for a faith-based filmmaker to bring their content out into the world. And what we do is we evaluate how the film can make itself available to audiences, whether that's through a traditional theatrical distribution, whether it's through a 4-walled screening process, or whether it's through a VOD or DVD. And sometimes it's all 3 of those things in a phased approach. Okay. And so it's really just figuring out what it is, what they have, and how to make it go forward.
And you just have a small team, too. You're not a
We do. We've
company.
got a small team. We've got 4 people, and it's very exciting. We brought on a new, I mean, initially her name is Caitlin Dick. She started just doing our web stuff, and she replaced Ryan Boehm, who was with us since the beginning. He went on to become the governor of Massachusetts digital director. And so when that transition happened, she was able to step in, and she's got quite an impressive background, and even more impressively, she's expecting her first child in just a couple of months, which amazingly, the birthday will be right around the time of my wife and I's first child. So we've got all this synergy happening, yeah, in the company. So.
Wow, congratulations. Well, my question is for you. If somebody was to come with you to an idea, what is it what do you look for specifically in a project?
Sure. What we look for is something that captures the imagination, and I think it's a challenge right now with all the noise. Everyone wants to communicate, you know, things that deal with theology and morality and all that stuff, which is great. But I think what people hunger for in this day and age is a good story, and you can combine both of those things to create truly beautiful art.
On your website, you say you want to provide cost-effective, results-driven solutions. And how important is that for the new evangelization?
Well, I think it's very important because right now with the new evangelization, everyone feels that he or she has the most important organization or mission and everything like that. And, you know, really in the eyes of the Creator, we all do. And so what we've got to determine whether that organization or product or service can go forward is how well it is actually connecting with the audience. So for example, if you've got a beautiful piece of art, but it can only be seen by someone who's got rose-colored glasses or something, if you'll pardon the analogy, then, you know, how do we transform that so that everyone can see it, so that everyone can be positively impacted by this piece of art?
Where can people find more about what you do?
Sure, they can go to littleflowerstrategies.com. We're you know, on Facebook and on Twitter, and of course we don't have our smoke signals established yet, but we're working on that for next year.
Well, littleflowerstrategies.com, I think, will really do the trick.
Yeah,
It's a great
that'll
website.
suffice. Yes.
We're big fans, as I said, of Saint Therese. So
Yeah,
that's
well,
a
who
good-
isn't? With her parents being canonized in the fall, it's a very exciting time for all of us.
You'll have to check out the
Oh, I showed him.
Oh, okay. All right. So
Yeah,
you're all
I
set.
did.
All right.
The relics of Therese's parents.
Yeah, and hopefully they can be the basis for the next book, Renewed, the sequel.
Yes, yes.
There we go. There we go.
Well, it's been great having you back in the living room. Always nice to have a chance to visit and to hear about the good work that you're doing, kind of behind the scenes, to help people to hear the message of Jesus Christ in a kind of confusing time in our history and our society. So thanks, Victor, very
That's
much.
right. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.